Hello, my name is Andrew Thake from Minds and Money. Delighted to be joined today by Joel Freudman, who's the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of TruPrecious Metals. Delighted to have you with us today, Joel.
Thanks for having me here, Andrew.
Joel, you're going to be at our upcoming Minds and Money Miami event. First thing, can you give us a brief overview about TruPrecious Metals?
Sure. We're a TSX venture listed company under the ticker symbol TRU. We're also OTC listed under the ticker symbol TRUIF. We are a junior gold and copper explorer in central Newfoundland. Newfoundland is a province on the east coast of Canada, and our flagship project, Golden Rose, is ideally situated between two major gold deposits. On the one side, we have a TSX listed company, Marathon Gold, who has 5 million ounces, and they're putting it into production in early 2025. And on the other side, an Australian listed company, Matador, with 840,000 ounces, and True controls all the land between those other two.
And what is Newfoundland like as a province for mining?
It's overlooked, but a great jurisdiction in which to do business. Great infrastructure, including actually a highway through our project, great power grids, ready supply of geologists and other support systems for the exploration industry, and the government. The government's quite easy to deal with as well, which is a nice change of pace. So we're very fortunate to have our project in Newfoundland.
So looking ahead to, say, the next 6 to 18 months, what are the key timelines and catalysts that investors can expect to hear from True?
The next 6 months is the most straightforward, certainly, despite all the macroeconomic uncertainty. We're well capitalized, and we're in the process of finalizing our exploration budget for this year. And so we have pretty clear visibility over the plan we're looking to run this year, which includes trenching, structural mapping, and of course, drilling at a very exciting target we've just uncovered called Marks Pond. Maybe I'll get into that later in the interview, but suffice to say, run the exploration program we have planned over the next 6-ish months. Alongside that, big part of my job is looking at corporate potential opportunities. So things like mergers and acquisitions and property transactions, and those are probably beyond the 6-month window. Just when you look at kind of where the market's at, there are a lot of opportunities to pick up interesting other companies and projects at pretty bargain basement prices there.
Mm-hmm. Of course, at True, you've assembled a great management team. Starting with yourself, what's your background?
So I'm actually a securities and mergers lawyer, hence my answer about mergers. We aggressively consolidated our Golden Rose project over a year and a half, a bunch of different property deals, most recently capped off by like a strategic acquisition of a contiguous property package. So we're quite transactional in nature. We've also divested properties for securities. So, it goes both ways. I'm joined by our president and CFO. She's a CPA with almost 30 years of experience. She's run junior exploration companies before. And also our VP of exploration. He's a professional geologist, close to 3 decades of experience, and he's worked all the way from exploration stage up to production stage across a variety of commodities. Our board's also rounded out by some veteran geologists and a business development executive who's also an accountant. So it's a very professional management team that I don't think you would typically see for a company of our market cap.
And who are your key shareholders?
Well, we're very fortunate, again, for a company of our market cap, and because of our project, we've attracted kind of the right shareholder mix. We have our largest shareholders, TSX-listed company called Altius Minerals. They're a Newfoundland-based project generator and royalty company. They own about 12%. Eric Sprott, Canadian precious metals billionaire, second largest shareholder with about 10%. And we have a few flow-through mutual funds. So those are tax-advantaged mutual funds for exploration companies. And we have actually 2 of those who are probably our 3rd and 4th largest shareholders. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention all of our directors and officers own stock in the company. I own about 3% of the company, and our former VPX, who's still on our board, also owns about 3% of the company.
Well, I mean, any kind of company that's backed by Eric Sprott and the likes of Altius, and also has its management and board of directors owning significant amounts of stocks and shares, is always a really, really positive sign. What is your long-term kind of vision for the company? You mentioned M&A earlier on. Do you want to go and sell it? Do you want to go and grow it into production?
So it's interesting. We're kind of running a dual track here. I haven't really talked much about our project. I'll touch on the more forward-looking or prospective angle first. Is on the M&A front, we're definitely starting to see interesting opportunities to pick up, resources or advanced projects for quite a bit less than the amount of money that was spent on them, whether that's at the corporate level or property level. So we're going to continue to look for those opportunities. We did sign an option agreement with a neighboring company late last year to fully consolidate our Golden Rose project. So we own 100% of almost all the project except a couple of pockets of the project. We signed up an option agreement to tie those up late last year. So we've already done some M&A like that. We'll continue to look at those opportunities short-term and long-term. But alongside that, we're definitely going to run exploration. We are an exploration company. And, some of the most interesting developments on our property, without even running through the list, is, within the past 6 months alone, we've hit high-grade copper and silver in drilling for a precious metals company on a gold-focused project. And more recently, we had some crazy high-grade gold samples that we were finding, some rock samples, including one that was close to 2,000 grams a ton at a target, like crazy numbers, are at a target called March Pond. So we ran channel sampling there, and we just put out the results in January, so a month ago. And we had very good intercepts from channel sampling, like quite high grade, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus grams a ton of gold over 2.5 meters. And that's going to be one of the center points of our immediate exploration focus, because we think that will be a value driver for the exploration potential of the project and really firming up. There's strong geological prospectivity for gold and potentially critical minerals like copper on our project, given our neighboring projects. So that's going to be the value driver for the company. And if we get some interesting drill hits this summer at that area, I think it's going to really blow this project wide open.
And as I mentioned at the start, you're coming to Miami. What are you looking to achieve by coming to the US?
We've barely done any inroads whatsoever in the US, maybe one virtual conference. We built a decent presence in Canada. We have a good network up in Canada, which is quite cold right now. So, it's nice to go to sunnier climates, but really to get out and meet more of the US investing world, especially specific to natural resources. We know there's a lot of capital. There's a lot of investors looking for interesting opportunities in the States that may get overlooked, or maybe they don't have access to those kind of opportunities. And so I think for American investors and even global investors, Newfoundland and Canada is this really overlooked pocket, but you have the potential for multi-million ounce discoveries like our immediate neighbor, Marathon Gold. And so we're looking to kind of follow that trajectory. And if we deliver anywhere near what a company like that has delivered on the exploration front, you're talking about a multiple of upside. And so I think exposing US investors to that opportunity is pretty exciting for us, especially Mines and Money Miami as our first real foray into the States.
Mm-hmm. One last question is, I think that this year will be a good year for gold. I mean, last year the price of gold, I think, went up and down and ended up 1% up year on year. This year, I think gold is definitely going to go up in price. So there's a lot of investors coming to Miami who will be looking at gold projects similar to yours. If you had to say, a couple of things that makes you stand out from your peers, what would they be?
I mean, if I have to use one sentence, I liken geology to real estate. The one sentence would be location, location, location. We are sandwiched between two major gold deposits. So both from a location perspective and a geological perspective, we could not be better situated. And we've firmed up that potential with drilling and surface discoveries on our property. But I think overall, you're looking really at the geological merits of the project, Golden Rose, which I just touched on, plus the professional team we have to attack the project, which is, you don't often see a professional team compiled like that for a company of our size. We try and run the business with more sophistication than you see from a lot of juniors. And so I think that's a pretty deadly combo to begin with. When you add to it the fact that we have a number of sophisticated, large institutional investors in our base for financial backing and general stability of the share float, I think we're very well positioned relative to a lot of the field.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, Joel. We wish you all the best at our upcoming Mines and Money Miami event. That was Joel Freudman, who's the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of TruPrecious Metals. Thank you very much for your time today, Joel.
Thanks again, Andrew. Check us out on the OTC under the ticker symbol TRUIF.